with some amazing people. And today we have with us Miss Coleen. How are you today?
I am excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do.
Absolutely. So I'm Coleen Otero. I'm the founder of the CEO Chick Network, where we coach women in business predominantly. We help women with branding, with financing, with wellness, whole life coaching, honestly, is what we call it. I also am the founder of Otero Marketing Group, where we do branding and marketing agency for entrepreneurs. We help them with their online presence, with social media management, with running ad campaigns, all the good stuff that comes with having a business online these days in the digital space.
All right. Well, you wear a lot of hats. Okay. So what are you unapologetic about in this moment?
Ooh, okay. That's where we're going today. So, in this moment right here today, I'm unapologetic about really taking time for myself. I think for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, for a very long time, I really find that I would just kind of make myself available all the time, kind of dealing with a little bit of people pleasing, I guess you could say, and just really being delivered from that, like kind of coming to a place where it's like, no, I really need time to myself, need time to rest. And I find in my resting time, Dr. G, that I am like recharged, that it makes me operate better in business. It makes me happier about being able to date my spouse, all that good stuff. I'm a mother of 4 boys. My oldest is in college. So it's like really just getting to a place where I'm managing my time effectively.
Okay, so then what does balance look like for you when you giving yourself that self-care? What does it look like? What are you doing that is not just sleeping? What are you
Oh,
doing
yeah,
for the
no.
self-care?
So I don't nap, right? So, I know some people that are like, I need my nap, I need my nap. I'm like, wow, how can you do that? So sleep isn't the thing that fuels me. So, for some it might be just staying in bed, and that's not it for me. For me, for example, today I booked a flight to go out of town, to take a vacation by myself, so that I can have time to just kind of like write and reflect and be very self-aware. So that's what it looks like for me. Balance, honestly, is kind of a myth in my world. It's just, yeah, it's kind of more like what is priority today. Some balance is sort of like trying to lay everything out evenly in a space. I haven't been able to do that. Like, I don't know. It hasn't worked for me. So I really kind of prefer the term work-life balance. I'm sorry, harmony, in order to just kind of see what's priority right now. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's work. Sometimes that's family. Sometimes that's me. So that's what it looks like.
Oh, that's so interesting. And so you said you used the term harmony. And so that's such a unique term. What makes harmony different for what you do and how you care for yourself?
I think when we say harmony, a lot of times it's like how certain things all work together, right? Whether it's a
Mhm.
little bit of this and a lot of that, or whatever it may look like, it's sort of like in this one particular song, this is what's required of this alto section, this, tenor section, the strings over here, and this, you know what I mean? It's like, it just is really coming to a place to where things are working together harmoniously, and it doesn't feel like a strain all the time, or a tug of war. Anytime I get into a place where things kind of start to feel like this constant battle, a tug of war, I'm like, something's off. You know what I mean? Something's not in its place. Someone's not doing something. I'm not quite sure, but we got to figure this out, because there should be a flow. And I think that's ultimately what I seek, and what I look for is just, regardless of how busy I may be, that things are still harmonious and there's still a rhythm and a flow. And I love it.
Okay, so is this something that when you are working with a lot of these entrepreneurs and startup businesses, is this something, one of the things that you say, look, you're still going to have to find time to find harmony in everything that you do? Or is it just like, hey, this is what you need to do to make sure that you succeed in business?
Yeah, it's so different for each person. I think that's what's unique about my coaching style is I've had people that have hired me for branding, for example, and a fresh look. And I tell them it's a collaboration. Like there's going to be this co-creation, if you will, that will happen between the two of us, where some people are expecting to just for me to, earlier you saw me, I was in a different wig. Okay. Let's be honest with the viewers. Earlier she saw me, I was like some people come to me and think I'm gonna take my wig off and just throw it on them and they're gonna have a Coleen moment and voila. Like, no, that's not how this works. I don't do the copycat thing. I don't do the, like what is going to be authentic to who you are. And I think sometimes we don't always know what that looks like. So oftentimes we might admire someone that we see and say, that's what I want. And we do it and can't maintain it. It's inauthentic to us. It's almost like putting on someone else's armor or clothes that doesn't fit. And so for me, that in my coaching style is kind of more walking through who you are at the core. What things can you truly maintain if you were to hire me as a branding curator for your brand? Like what things can you maintain after I'm long gone? You know what I mean? Because it kind of is part of your evolution. You know what I mean? Like you went from this caterpillar to a butterfly naturally. So I'm only there to help with the process. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely a unique everybody's not a fit for our coaching style, but when it comes to my agency and branding services, but I would say for sure, it's a part of what I talk about with my clients a lot. It's like, who are you becoming?
So you talk about being a coach, and I always, I was one of those who never thought that I would need a coach for anything.
Mm.
Um, then I actually got a life coach, and she changed my life. When people look at coaching, what is the value that they really get that they don't understand going in?
Yeah, it's the ability to find, and this is a great question, and let me tell you why. Because sometimes people they do something because they think it's popular, not really knowing what to expect. So I really appreciate this question. But overall, a coach helps you to unlock a better version of yourself. If a coach tells you just do what I do, that's a different style of coaching altogether. It's sort of like, well, you're kind of creating your little copycats and minions, or what I'm not quite, I don't understand that style coaching, but there are some principles that a coach can teach you to apply to get you to be the best version of yourself. That is the ultimate goal when it comes to coaching. You should expect certain levels of breakthrough, aha moments, confirmation, like there's times where you feel the pressure, and a coach helps you understand that pressure is necessary for you to be able to go to that next better upgraded version of yourself. You know what I mean? So I think that is what's key for coaching in any area, in brand, whether it's business, whether it's your life, whether it's sales. I've heard confidence coaches now. There's a coach in everything now.
I know, and I think that was for me why I was like, having a therapist is one thing. I love my therapist, but for the evolution of where I was at in my life, I was like, maybe I'll try out a coach. And just by happenstance, I interviewed one of her, something about her energy connect. But it was not until I really went through the whole transformation
Mhm.
and evolved. Like I had a real, I had more than just one aha moment. I was able to just shed, and create, and then talk about become a best version of myself. I became someone that was more enlightened about what my needs were personally, and I
Yeah,
already had some clue, but I'm telling you, it was not until I had someone that it wasn't even a validation or confirmation. It unlocked
that's it.
what it was that I really truly needed. So I really commend people who do real coaching. No offense to any of you fake coaches out there, but I
Just
really
saying.
commend anyone who does coaching from an authentic space. And so I like what you are doing and your coaching style. So what is it that you would say to someone who maybe is straddling the fence when it comes to business, and just instead, when they're coming to you and say, hey, I'm not sure about what I want, what is the important factor that they need to be great in business?
That's so good. So that's a two-part question. So one, if they're unsure and they're straddling the fence, then they shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? You're not going to do anything excellent when you're operating in doubt and fear. With clarity comes courage. So until we're clear on what it is we want, until we're clear on what it is we need, until it's clear about how we serve in the marketplace, you really do yourself a disservice by, just kind of moving, you know what I mean? And just because. So number one, it's like getting clear is very important in every area, in business, in life, in the direction that we want to go in. So that's number one. What was the second part that you mentioned again?
It was, oh
What do
gosh.
they need?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
what is it that they need,
Mhm.
when it comes to being successful in business?
Yeah. So I think that that answer can kind of, touch on both. It's like get clear on how you're going to serve in the marketplace, because a business honestly is like a marriage between your idea, your concept, and the customer. So it really is about serving and filling a need. I'm sure you've heard that before, and that's exactly what it's about. You have to be able to fill a need for your customers. And so until you get clear on that, on how you serve it, you cannot be successful.
Okay, so how can people connect with you if they're looking at business development or business branding or just getting a coach? How can people connect with you?
Sure, they can go to ceochicksonline.com if they're interested in the networking. If they're looking for branding and marketing services, they can go to ColeenOtero.com. Both sites they work together, so you'll find me either way.
All right, what about on social media? How can they connect with you?
At CEO Chicks or Coleen
Oh,
Otero, CEO.
okay, so both. Look, go ahead and look her up. Get yourself in the know, especially if you're a small business owner or you're thinking about starting a business. Sometimes planning is important, and
Mhm.
to be successful. Thank you so much for stopping by. We definitely appreciate it. And that was your unapologetic moment with Dr. G.